I was a student at Moraine starting at the age of 8 years old. My mom actually drove me to the T building to take child classes, like kids classes, and I actually remember the classes. It was Mavis Beacon Typing and Print Shop Deluxe 2. And we had dot matrix printers in the classroom where we had to print our assignments. And I have to say, in regards to grade school, it was school, but afterwards coming to Moraine, it was just a whole different experience. So even at a young age, I knew that this is where I wanted to be, both the T building, because it was technology, and also just Moraine Valley as a whole. Overall, it was just a great experience as a child, because we all have childhood memories, and to this day, I still use Photoshop and Illustrator, and if I could use Print Shop, I don't think it would work with Windows 10, but hey, I'm sure it's still out there. And Print Shop Deluxe, it was just a great skill to have. So what that did is it allowed me to build my skills with computers and technology. And this was before the days that everyone's wearing iPhones and wearing iWatches and all of these different devices. I had an old computer that I would go home and do my homework on. And by the time I was about 13 years old, I took credit classes here. And I had to have a lot of paperwork done. I know my parents went through a lot to try to get me into the course, so I don't remember how they did it. I know when I was 16, the courses actually counted, but beforehand, I was this young kid in these courses with adults learning Cisco networking. And it was just a whole different experience. And my parents would ask, okay, you're getting a C in algebra, but you're learning how to configure routers and switches at a college with adults in your class. And I always found that to be just amazing, because obviously you have to do what you love and what you enjoy. And that's one thing that Moraine Valley exposed me to, is what I personally really enjoy waking up and doing every day. Back in 2007, I was asked to become a teacher here, to teach IT courses. And to me, at the time, I wasn't sure if I was going to have time to fit in the 2-day-a-week class. Is teaching for me, is this something I want to do? But given that opportunity, it really helped me grow, and it made me realize there's a whole different perspective of being a student and being on the teacher side and how much work goes into that. So since then, I've been teaching classes every semester at Moraine Valley, everything from computer hardware, computer software, design, all of these different courses that make a big difference in people's lives. So even though I have students ranging from the ages of 16 and up the ladder, it's just a fantastic way to help people of all ages, of all generations, to get the same skills to help them do what it is they enjoy on a daily basis. So if they come to the course and they realize, I like working on computer hardware, I know that I helped made a difference with a lot of students over the years here, that they can wake up and enjoy what they do every day. And that's the one thing that Moraine Valley does, and I know other schools too, but Moraine Valley has that special feeling. When you're here and you're in the classroom and you're getting hands-on experience, it really gives you that sense of this was really worth it, because we have working professionals taking our courses. They work from 9 to 5 and come here to take class 6 to 10 at night. That's a very long day, and especially if you're doing hands-on and presentations and writing papers for your class, it's a whole different, respect for yourself as a student. And I always commend my students for that, because it takes a lot of work. And once they graduate, I always follow up. I keep in contact with a lot of students, because I want them to have that same feeling that I had when I was 8 years old here, of that when at least hopefully they're not getting picked up by their parents, but you never know. But it gives them that sense of I did this, I made it through another day, and I could do it again. So that is my overall experience of being a student and emerging into staff here. So there's one person that I know would absolutely be here today, but unfortunately he's not. Eric Spangler. He was a director of the Cassia grant over in the CIT department, and Eric was one of the few people here at Moraine that really had a big impact in my life. I actually met him when I was about 14 years old, and back when I was taking the original classes, and he was one person that just kind of said, you got to push yourself, you have to push yourself, this is what you have to do. And over the years, I've worked in a variety of roles at Moraine, everything from data center specialist, student success. Now I'm also in information technology, so I've been in a few areas of the campus, which is great experience for me. And Eric always said, make yourself well-rounded, it helps make you more valuable. And that was advice he gave everybody, and that's what I liked about him, is he really pushed you forward. Now, one of the funniest moments I've ever had at Moraine Valley was with Eric. Now, I have a lot of moments, but I can't say them on camera, of course. But we were in Texas at another school, and I helped Eric with his PowerPoint presentation that he was going to give. Well, they changed the topic on him. So the topic went from student retention to sustainability. So all of a sudden they said, Eric Spangler is going to come up and talk about sustainability. And he gave me that look, like, that's not what we're talking about. And he's like, well, I guess I'm going to wing it. And I did learn about winging it from Eric, but he was the only person I ever have met that could pull this off. He went up to the projector and opened up a blank PowerPoint and said, well, we're going to talk about sustainability, everybody. Why don't you tell me what you think it is? And started filling in the bullet points on the PowerPoint, and by the end had 10 full slides about sustainability of the IT infrastructures that were put in. And I was in the back, holding in my laugh, couldn't help, because nobody knew that he wasn't prepared or ready to go. And I actually had to leave the room, and I just busted out laughing in the hallway because I could not believe that he pulled it off. And it just amazed me. And that was one moment I knew that, in life, even if you plan with your classes and your grades and your money and all these different things that they prep us for, you still have to be able to wing it. And that is just one moment that I look back where, you have to wing it and have to make do sometimes. But as long as you're doing the best you can and being the best who you are is what can really help you succeed. And Eric was one, and I know a lot of people probably watching this video knew Eric Spangler, but he would push everybody that came in his path. He'd push you to be your best.